Hello, students. Welcome to Unit 3. This is lesson 4, but it's just a worksheet lesson. It's based on rotations about a point. And so what's good about this lesson is when you complete this worksheet, that is not only the notes for the lesson, but I'm counting it as the assignment as well for the lesson. So you get 2 for 1 with this. There's only, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12 problems. Okay. I might not do them all. I might just, show the work for them, but to make, the video will become redundant afterwards. But let's start by doing some of these problems. So in this case, we want to rotate each point around the point, around point P. Be sure to label the image on the graph. And now don't forget what our rotations are. Our rotations are they're listed in a previous lesson. They are right up here. They are for a 90 degrees counterclockwise. We use this rule, opposite yx. And then for 180, we do opposite x, opposite y. And then for 270, we do y opposite x. And then for 360, we use the same exact thing. So where now are these points going to go? Well, these points we have to be very careful because we're not rotating them around the origin. If we were, H would, oh, that didn't work out. If we're rotating around the origin, H would end up right, whoops, it's pretty much where H is. H would have ended up somewhere right over here, and this would have been H prime. So it would have gone from 1, 4 to -1, -4. That would have been my 180 degrees clockwise rotation. But unfortunately, we can't use the origin because we're using point P. So that readjusts everything that I have. This circle now becomes centered over at point P. Which is right here. So 180 degrees ends up putting H through this center now over to here. But what I want to do is I want to show you how to get that, because it's very easy for us to look at one point and do it and do it pretty quickly. But what if it was a 90 degree? Well, so a 90 degree would look somewhere, it would be somewhere over here, right? Or here, depending on what direction I'm going. Actually, this line isn't that great. This line belongs more perpendicular like that. So I'm going to give you a foolproof method to show you where it ends up going and how we get there. So the first thing we want to do is take H, which is the location 1, 4. And so H is at 1, 4. What I want you to do is I want you to find out how far away P is. If P is at 2, 2, how far would it be to get P to go back to the origin and become the new origin? Well, that would be, I would have to take 2 away from X, and I would have to take 2 away from Y. And that's exactly what I want you to do here. I want you to take 2 away from each one of these points. So H, fake H, I call this fake H, or like the fake coordinates. We're going to do 1 minus 2 is -1, and then 4 minus 2 is 2. So in theory, if H was centered at the origin, it would be at 1, 2. Watch what happens. If I were to move P over here, look at where H would have been. It would have been at -1, 2, right? -1, 2 are my coordinates. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to spin this where it belongs. Whoops. And then I'm going to move all of this crazily back up over here. And it's going to end up where it belongs. But this is really, it's more about manipulating the circumstance we have and then doing the same rule we would have. So the first thing we do, again, we find the coordinate of h, then we find out what would bring P back to the origin. Let's make it the real center. Sorry about that glitch. So now what we need to do is we need to perform the operation that was asked, which is to do a 180-degree counterclockwise. Or, well, this one was clockwise. It's not going to matter. They're the same direction. So that's going to be x comma y maps onto opposite x, opposite y. So this now moves to become h prime, which would be negative x, negative y. But remember, this is all, which would become 1 comma negative 2. But the issue with this is where it would be if the origin was 0, 0. So what do I need to do again? I need to finalize this by moving this back to where it belongs. So if I took 2 and 2 away, I now need to add 2 and 2 back. So that shift that moved me here by going 2 and 2 needs to now go back to 2 and 2, which will also move this h coordinate as well. So what's 1 plus 2? It's 3. And what's negative 2 plus 2 is 0. So h prime, the real h prime, is at 3, 0, which is right here. And that's it. And it looks like it's 180 degrees, right? That's where we thought it was going to be. Again, all we're doing is we're taking P and we're making it the origin. So we take where we thought H would be, right? So here's our H one more time. H is up here. We move it down here. We use the rotation rule, and then we slide it back. It's just an adjustment that we need to do. All right, let's do another one. So we have H is at, we can keep the colors consistent. We have H is at 1, 4. We have P is at negative 2, comma 2. How far would it be to move this back where it belongs? We would have to add 2, so it would be x plus 2. It would be y minus 2, right? So we're going to do plus 2 and minus 2. To get it back, we're going to do minus 2 and plus 2, right? We got to fix it. We got to put it back to where it was, which is going to be the reverse order. Okay, so let's take h, which is 1, 4. Let's add 2. So h is going to be 3, comma 2. We're performing, we're going to perform the operation, what is it, 270 counterclockwise. So 270 counterclockwise. Give me one sec. $270 counterclockwise is x comma y maps onto y opposite x. So when we go here, we'll do h prime is y2 comma negative 3. And now when I go to bring it back to where it needs to, the rule is going to make me slide it back. So I'm going to have to take 2 away, making this 0. Whoops, I think I used blue. What did I use? I used this blue. That will make me 0. So 2, what I'm doing is 2 minus 2 is 0. And then negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So h prime is at 0, comma negative 1. So 0, comma -1 is right there. And this was the back and forth that we did. Okay. And did it work out well? It did. Check this out. If you want to just do a counting game, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it did what it was supposed to. It looks weird, but that's exactly where it belongs. Okay, this 90 degrees clockwise is the same as 270 counterclockwise. So I'm going to use that same rule. I'm just going to copy paste it over. You can pause the video if you want to, write it down. This one we got to do -2, -2, and then we're going to do +2, +2. So I got -2, -2, +2, +2. And I need to find out where is H. H is at 1, 4 still. Okay. H is at 1, 4. So I'm going to make H is really going to be -1, 2. And then I'm going to spin it, but this is going to spin differently, right? So here's my fake H prime. Fake H prime is at 2, 1, because this -1 becomes positive here because it becomes opposite, and this stays the same. And now I bring it back to be +2, +2, and that is going to be 4, 3. So H prime is at 4, 1, 2, 3. And that's it. So that one, again, looks a little weird, but look at this. 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's where it needs to be. It's just we're spinning around that fake origin for a little bit. So let me 4, 3. What I want to do is I want to fix these colors so that they make more sense. So this is going to be green right here. That's my change. And then this right here, I want to maybe let me make this one maroon. And then, so now the maroon is going to be going this way. That's not a good color to work with. Let's do, we'll do blue. And then here's the blue. Okay. And now this one I will do, this is going to be -2, +2. Where this one was +2, -2. And yep, and then this last one, nope, that blue. And I'm going to erase that. I'll do this one as -2, -2. And this other one is x +2. Oops, I'll just leave it as +2, +2. Less x's and y's, the better here. That's moving it back. Okay, so, I got 3 more. It looks like I did every possible variety of whatever. So here's my 180. I'm just gonna feel free to pause the video and write these in. I'm gonna throw my 180 counterclockwise because it's not gonna matter. That's counterclockwise. Okay. And then I'm going to do, this is 270, this is 90 degrees counterclockwise. Which means I need to change this to become negative y, opposite y, same x. And this, 90 degrees counterclockwise is the same thing as 90, is 90 degrees counterclockwise. Wait, did I have that? I had 270 counterclockwise. I now have 90 counterclockwise. I have 180, 180 both directions, and then I have 270 counterclockwise, and this one's 90. Yeah. Well, it's the same rule as this one. So I'll just copy and paste this over. Feel free, again, just pause the video. I'm going to adjust this one to be 90 degrees counter. Okay. And then again, this one, same thing, counter. Those are the same. All right, so here I have 180 counterclockwise with a different point. So I have, this is going to be plus 2 minus 2. This one is going to be the same, plus 2 minus 2. And this one will be minus 2 minus 2. I know I'm doing a lot of work here. I'm like doing 5 problems at once. Well, I'm doing 3 problems at once, but I'm just setting up the logistics so that you see that it's the same repetitive process over and over. So this would be minus 2 plus 2. So minus 2 plus 2 to send it back. And then plus 2 plus 2. Okay. And here we have h is at 1, 4. H is at 1, 4. And h is at 1, 4. So h is always starting at 1, 4. Okay, now now I gotta stop. Like these things are all gonna change. So I'm gonna do this one first. So h is going to really, if I were to adjust it, it would look like 3 comma 2. And then what I have to do is I have to spin it as if it was at the origin, which is opposite x, opposite y. So it's going to be negative 3, negative 2. And now the last thing I got to do is move it back, and it's going to be, that's a lousy arrow. There we go. And lastly, when I add the 2 and the 2, I'm going to get, no, I'm sorry, negative 2 and add 2. We get negative 5 comma 0. So negative 5 comma 0. So negative 5 comma 0 is right here. That looks kind of weird, but it's not. Look at that. That is a 180-degree rotation. It's right diagonal across. So h prime is negative 5 comma 0. The next one, I'm going to do my adding of 2 and taking away. So it looks like I get 3 comma 2. I perform the operation it's asking me to do, which is opposite y. So -2, same x, 3. And then I'm going to take away 2, so I get -4, and 3 plus 2 is 5, so I get -4, 5. Which surely does look like a 90-degree rotation, right? Doesn't that look like a right angle? So 90 degrees counterclockwise. Yep, looks pretty good to me. So h prime is -4, 5. And lastly, we have this one where we have h, which is 1 minus 2 is -1, 4 minus 2 is 2. I'm going to perform the operation, which is opposite y. So -2, same x, -1. And now I bring it back. So I'm adding 2 both times. So 0, oops, 0. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So 0, 1. Not in the most convenient spot here. H prime is 0, 1. All right. And that is, yep, 1, 2, 1, 2. It is definitely where it belongs. All right. Now, what happens when we have a triangle? Well, we're going to follow the same rule. So the question is, how do I get it back here? And that's going to be in orange. I'm just going to write off the side because in orange, it's going to get too convoluted if I start putting everything there. It's going to be -1, -1, -2. So this will be -1, -2. And then this one in blue is going to be, in blue, it will be 1, 2. So it's adding 1, adding 2. So +1, +2. And now I'm going to look at the 180 counterclockwise. It's perfect. 180 counterclockwise is right here. 180 degrees counterclockwise, I'm just going to put it a little bit lower. And so now I can compute this one. So this is going to have 3 things. It's going to have, wait, I'm sorry. What is D? D is 3, 5. X is 1, 0. And F is 4, 1. So F is 4, 1. D is 3, 5. X is 1, 0. And now you perform those operations. So 3, 5, well, let me write it. D, F, and X. Let's take 1 away from all of its X coordinates. So I get 2, 3, and 0. Now take 2 away from all of its Y coordinates. So 3, -1, and -2. Now you're going to do your counterclockwise rotation. Here's D prime, F prime, and X prime. So I'm going to make them fully opposite of what they were because that's what it's asking me to do, opposite X, opposite Y. So I get negative 2, 3, negative 3, 0, and I get negative 3, 1, and 2. All right, I'm making some pretty good progress. Now I'm going to add 1 to all those coordinates for my x's, so I get 1. No, sorry. Notice how order is really important here. I'm trying to keep it really clean and nice. So I'm going to add 1, so it's going to be negative 1, negative 2, 1. Then I'm going to add 2 to my y's, so negative 1, 3, and 4. So my new coordinates now are negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, 3, so that was d prime, f prime, and x prime is 1, 4. Wait, 1, 4, which is x prime. And so my rotation around that point, very strange, looks very strange, but it doesn't. It almost looks like a fan. Think about like a blade of a fan spinning around. Look at you have 1, 2, you have 1, 2, you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you have 1, 2, 3, oh sorry, you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you have 3, 1, you have 3, 1. So we have this rotation here where everything is spinning 180 degrees. And that's it. So now there's 2 more problems. There's 8, 9, oh no, there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a whole bunch of them. Let's see, let me do one more with 4 around, let's do number 11. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the work for all of these as well, but I'm going to stop the video because I think that if I go any longer with the video, it's it's meaningless because you already get the hint. Well, you already get the notation and everything that's happening here. So let's just do this real quick. We have to bring p back, I would have to add 1. So I'd have to add 1 and then take 1 away. And then to move it back, I would need to do, I would have to take 1 away and then add 1. So it's going to be minus 1 plus 1, and this one will be plus 1 minus 1. All right. Now 90 degrees clockwise is the same as 270 counterclockwise. To which I've already written the rule. I'm going to copy it, 270 counterclockwise. Okay, that's my rule. I have C, which is negative 1, 3. Wait, did I write it last time? I don't really have much room. Yeah, I guess I'll write all 4 of them. Then I have negative 4, negative 1. I have negative 5, negative 1, and I have negative 5, 0. So B is negative 5, 0. G is negative 5, negative 1. I is negative 4, negative 1. And C is negative 1, 3. All right, and I'm going to do BGIC, my new coordinates, which is negative 5, negative 5, negative 4. Oh, sorry, I'm adding 1 to all of them. Negative 4, negative 4, negative 3, 0. And I'm taking 1 away from the y coordinates. So -1, -2, -2, 2. I perform my rotation following the rule. So B prime, G prime, I prime, C prime. So this is y opposite x, so the y's are going to stay the same. So -1, -2, -2, 2. The x's all become opposite. So 4, 4, 3, 0. And just when I think I'm done, I am not done. I still need, let's move this over a little bit. Oops. Let's also finally move this, put this back. And so I'm going to take away 1 from all of those. So I get -2, -3, -3, 1. Those are my x coordinates. And my y coordinates, I add 1. So I get 5, 5, 4, and 1. And now I go to graph it. So B is at -2. Let's see, what did I do? I did it in light blue. Okay, -2, 5. This is B prime. G prime is at -3, 5. I prime is at -3, 4. And then C is at 1, 1. And if I connect, it looks pretty good. And it does look like a fan blade, huh? It looks like it's spinning around like this. Notice G, B, and I are all 1 unit apart from one another in the same rotational order. Yeah, we are good. Okay, look at C is 2 away. It's 2 away here. Yeah, everything stayed equidistant. That's perfect. Okay, and that's number 11. So you now have 4 more to do on your own: 8, 9, 8 and 9, and 10 and 12. And that's it. I mean, when I say on your own, I'm still going to make an answer key for it and post it. Okay, but everything else, this is the end of this lesson. All right, so finish it up, post it to Google Classroom, and you are done. Good luck.